age, you might be finding your brain is not as sharp as it once was. This morning, we are bringing in the experts from St. Louis Neurotherapy Institute for tips for an aging brain. So here to share more is Dr. Jason Rhodes. Dr. Rhodes, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
This is a very interesting conversation, as many people are eating foods that help their memory, keep them sharp.
Yep.
But this is a different thing. So this is neurofeedback.
Yes.
Can you tell us how that helps with people who are aging?
Sure. So neurofeedback is actually called EEG biofeedback. Okay. So a lot of people are familiar with biofeedback, but this is actually for the brain. And as we age, our brain becomes weaker, not as sharp. Memory. We can have some anxiety issues, just about anything neurologically that's going on, and we can actually help change that.
Okay, so how does that process work then?
Sure. So neurofeedback starts with doing something called a brain map. So we actually put a cap on. We record the activity of the brain to look how the brain is actually functioning. And so we can actually look at the brain and say, okay, this is what's going on. This is how the brain is functioning. From there, we can do neurofeedback therapy, which again is biofeedback, and it's like an exercise for the brain. Essentially, we're placing surface level sensors on the scalp correlated to that area, and then when the brain moves back towards a more normalized distribution, they're getting a reward response, and that makes that process happen over and over and over again. And we actually grew new neural tissue, just like working out like a muscle.
That's fascinating. So you could first see what you're working with, starting point, and then that therapy is really what kind of helps grow the brain. So what typically age-wise do you look for this? What would be a good candidate? Yeah,
so there's a Medicare covered program that we're working with right now. So anyone who's 65 or older, but usually in the late 60s, early 70s is our clientele. They're starting to notice problems with memory, recall, also having problems with anxiety or depression. I mean, these are type of things that we see. But just like we go to the gym to exercise and stay healthy, this is actually something that we can do to help keep the brain as healthy as we can.
Okay, and would this be something you'd recommend for someone that maybe is nearing those numbers, the 60s, to kind of get ahead of? Can you get ahead of it?
Well, like I said, with Medicare, it's 65 and over. But yeah, as early as we can get in there and start to make those changes, the better. Yeah,
yes,
absolutely.
Yes, of course, wonderful. Well, you can find further information right there on your screen. St. Louis Neurotherapy, that's where you can book an appointment, learn more information online. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Dr. Rhodes. We appreciate it.
Thank you.